Typically, we're talking about 3 different kinds of conflict. We're talking about intrusion, we're talking about tattling, and we're talking about safety. So when there's intrusion, it means you've infringed on my space. Like there was a boundary and it feels like you've come into my space. So when a child has infringed on a space, the skill that needs to be taught to that child is assertiveness. So we want to teach them to respect what this boundary is. So we're going to handle that very differently than a child who comes and says, he's not cleaning up, or she's not in line where she's supposed to be. Now that's different. That tattling, that skill that's needed is helpfulness. The skill that that child needs is forgiveness or compassion. And so we're going to handle each of these situations differently. We're not using a tattle box. We're not saying go write it down. We're not saying go talk to the wall, and talk to the ear or whoever, We're actually going to listen and we're going to decipher. Is this information that that child is giving me about an intrusive experience? Or is this information that's more revenge seeking? And so once I decide that, that's going to determine how I respond back. If the child is saying, he took my swing, then we're going to say, well, did you like that? And the reason that we're going to say, did you like that, is because we're checking to see what state is that child in. Are they in a lower survival threatened state? Because here's what I'm going to hear. If I say, did you like that? If they go, no, I'm going, well, I'm not sending that child over in that state to have an assertive conversation because that's going to come out aggressively. And what do we know? We know aggression begets more aggression. So when I say, did you like that? And they say, no, I'm also not sending that child over because that child will be eaten alive by the other child who is more aggressive. So I'm checking in when I say, did you like that? And I hear that they say wherever they say, and if they sound aggressively or if they sound passively, I'm going to say, you've got the words. Now I want you to match my voice. Tell Josh, I don't like it when you push me. Tap me on the shoulder if you want me to move forward. You're not going to say this. Go tell him that he needs to. You need to say it in first person. Go tell Josh, I don't like it when you push me, and here's the big piece. We're not going to say, so stop, or don't do it again. We're going to tell him what we want him to do. So we're flipping that. And actually, guess what's happening? This guy, the little guy, who was the victim, or girl, is now actually teaching. So they've set a limit. I don't like it when you push me. And they said, if you want my attention, next time, tap me on the shoulder. So that's what we do for intrusion. Did you like it? Say that with me. Did you like it? Gotcha. Now, the next one is that revenge seeking. So if they're looking for revenge, we're going to use a different phrase. So they come up to us and they say, he's not cleaning up. Now you're going to say, are you telling me that to be helpful or hurtful? Now this is tricky because what do you do if the child says, I'm telling you to be helpful? Well, then you say, oh, so how is telling me about him not cleaning up helpful? They don't really know, right? And so then you say, oh, you wanted to be sure that our room was all tidied up at the end of cleanup time. Go over and encourage your friend and help him get started. That would be super. We're teaching helpfulness. We're teaching forgiveness, and we're teaching compassion. We're not saying, is that your business? Don't be going over there. We're creating this soil of, let me flip that feeling inside of you. So if the child says, I'm telling you that to be hurtful, that's the easy one. Then you say, and what could you do that would be helpful? Now here's what I gotta tell you, they aren't gonna know. They're gonna look at you and they're gonna shrug their shoulders and you're gonna say, you could go over and start cleaning up and ask your friend, did you want to pick up the red blocks or the green blocks? Help him get started. That would be super helpful. That child in the beginning is going to look at you like, well, but this isn't my responsibility. I'm not supposed to. I already cleaned up my piece. We're teaching helpfulness. We're teaching how can you be of service to him. And the way you can be of service to him is modeling. And the way you can be of service of him is not judging him. So those are those 2 pieces. And the last one is safety. Somebody runs up to you and says, he's bleeding. And you're saying, I'll take care of it. So that one's pretty easy. We don't have to do a lot of teaching with that. So you got that one down. So we know how we respond to intrusion either teaches assertiveness or it teaches victimization. How we respond to revenge either teaches children to seek revenge or to be more helpful. And how we respond to them when they have safety issues helps children either feel that they can trust an adult or that adults aren't trustworthy.